Okay, so guys, I'll let everyone in as soon as we can. Okay, so Unit 10 is the influence on the Constitution of South African law. So I want you to turn to page 202, where we will be starting at the topic. We're going to discuss a few selected cases where the influence of the 1993 and 1996 constitutions of South African law was clearly illustrated. Okay, so the first one is unconditionally. No word, you must excuse. My voice is gonna go away. The unconstitutional. Yeah, it's a very long word this evening. Sorry, of the death penalty. So, what was the case that showed that the death penalty was unconstitutionally? What laws or what case changed the use of the constitutional of the death penalty? Yes, you can speak.
Good afternoon, everyone. Lee, I just wanted to confirm if the meeting is recorded because I'm not going to be able to stand for the whole duration of the session.
Yes, it is recorded.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. So, the case in 1995, the case of S versus Makwanye was on the constitutionality of the death penalty. This case was brought before the court after the two accused in the matter were sentenced to death after committing murder. So in the interim, the 1993 interim constitution, the death penalty would be legally regarded as cruel, inhuman, and degrading. Oh, that is. All right. So the case of S versus Makwanye is one of the important cases that they refer to as where they decided that the death penalty is inhumane. All right. So the death penalty is an infringement on the right of life and to the right of human dignity. So since when was the death penalty abolished? Anyone? Okay. So that was in, if I'm correct, in 1995. Yes. You can answer.
Oh no, I was about to say 1995, ma'am. You answered that already.
Oh, sorry. It seems like everyone's quiet.
No, I was about to say the same thing. It's okay, ma'am. Sorry.
Sorry. Okay. I want to find out from you, have you all seen that case? Did you all read that case? It was in Learning Unit 6. So it is there. Just read up on it. In terms of the interim constitution, the death penalty will be legally be regarded as cruel, inhuman, and degrading. So that's when it, but constitutionality of
Constitutionality.
yeah, my nose is so blocked. I'm having trouble reading to that.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Let me just double check this. Oh, okay. Fraser versus Children's Court, Pretoria. Sorry, my nose. Sorry about that. Pretoria North and others. In 1997, the Constitutional Court decided, in the terms of the 1996 Constitution, Section 18(4)(d) was unconstitutional and had to be changed by Parliament within 2 years. Okay, so in 1998, the Parliament amended the change to this section. It came into operation on the 4th of February 1999. In terms of this amended act, both mother and father of the child born out of wedlock have a say in the adoption of their child. The amendment on the Child Care Act is called the Adoption Matters Amendment Act 56 of 1998. And must be kept in mind when there's a case before court that relates to the adoption of a child born out of wedlock. Okay, I've got a footnote here that I wrote. In 2010, the Children's Act 38 of 2005 came into effect, which repealed the Child's Care Act. Adoption is now governed by the Children's Act. You all still with me? Okay. Yes, okay. The unconstitutionality of certain sections of the Electoral Act 73 of 1998. Certain sections of the Electoral Act 1998 were unconstitutional since they violated the right to vote and the right to equal treatment of South Africans living abroad. Okay, so there's a case that they are referring to as Richter versus Minister of Home Affairs. The Pretoria High Court ruled that sections 33(1)(b) and E of the Electoral Act and some regulations made in terms of the Act were indeed unconstitutional. It therefore ordered that the Electoral Commission ensure that those registered voters absent from South Africa on polling day be given an opportunity to vote by means of a special vote. Okay, so going back, they say it was unconstitutional because the South Africans that live in other countries needed to vote, and it was against their right to vote because they were abroad, so that had to be changed so that they can have a special vote even if they are in another country. Its order declaring the sections of the legislation unconstitutional be the confirmed to. Okay, let me start again. In order declaring the sections of the legislation unconstitutional be confirmed by the Constitutional Court. The Constitutional Court confirmed the decision by the High Court and ruled anonymously that South Africans living abroad have the right to vote if they were already registered as voters. Unfairly restricted the right to cast special votes while abroad to very narrow class of South African citizens. Important is Section 33(1)(b) and (e) of the Electoral Act of 1998. Okay. Now we are going to go to this unit is very short. Okay, recognition of same-sex marriages. The definition of marriage in South African law did not include permanent cohabitation relationships. Common law definition of marriage as a union of one man with one woman to the exclusion while it lasts of all others. That is the Marriage Act 25 of 1961 to wife or husband. In the case Minister of Home Affairs versus Fourie, denial of equal protection of the law and unfair discrimination by the state against them because of their sexual orientation. The Constitutional Court decided that a permanent cohabitation relationship must be included in the definition of marriage. The definition of marriage, common law marriage on Marriage Act 25 of 1961 is unconstitutional on ground of the right of equality, right to human dignity. The Civil Union Act 17 of 2006 came into operation, which says same-sex and heterosexual couples to enter into a marriage or civil partnership. Okay, so that is Unit 10. Is there anyone sorry. Is there anyone with questions on Unit 10? Yes. Azande?
Hey, ma'am.
Hey.
There is a line that says there's both mother and the father that had a child. Hello, ma'am, why am I hearing myself? Okay, there's the question said the line that said on page 203, both the mother and the father of a child born out of wedlock had a say in the adoption of their child. Then my question says, why did they introduce that law? And those who had a child in inside the marriage didn't have access to the adoptions of their child.
Is there someone that can help her? Because if you are married and your child is born in wedlock and you want to give your child up for adoption, you still need both parents to agree. The same even applies to even if they're out of wedlock and the mother wants to give the child up for adoption, then the father also needs to give permission for that. Anyone else with a question? Yes, Bongani.
Yeah, it's not a question, but I think it's one of the reasoning regarding the rejection that for adoption instances, the mother has an overriding power. Because if we look into the patrimonial interest of a child, the father is obliged to offer a maintenance, succession, and fide commissary. These are the three main patrimonial interests the child has, and they cannot be deferred on the basis that the child is born out of marriage. So these responsibilities remain intact for the father.
I have to agree with you. But if you go to that act, then you'll see the father has to be even if it's out of wedlock, they still need to have permission from the father, unless the mother does not know who the father is. Okay. Do you agree with me, Bongani? Okay. Is there anyone else with a question or a comment for Unit 10? Can we go on to Unit 11? If you guys think of a... Yes, Bongani? Bongani?
Yeah, it's a little bit on a focus on the state versus Makwanyane case. It did not only abolish the death penalty or even section 277 of the criminal procedure. It did make other changes like the section 316 of the criminal procedure that allowed the attorney general to oppose any appeal on death sentences. So that also was repealed, and it was the even section 322 that section 322 of the Constitution that all the courts have got the power to appeal the decisions that any person finds them undemocratic or unfairly on them. So maybe some of the things that were brought from that case, that section 316 subsection A of the Criminal Procedure Act was scrapped because it gave the Attorney General the powers to object any death sentences appeal on any appeal on death sentence cases, and it gave rise to section 322, the power of the Court of Appeal to have a hearing of the grievances raised from the trial court.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else with an insight or a question for us? We've got someone writing here. We are on Unit 10, almost at 11. That is on page 202. Florence, your mic is on. You want to ask something? Okay. You can start. Jabulani.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Bongani, could you please assist me with the constitution that you're using? Because the one that I have is from section 1 up to 172. So could you please help me with yours?
Unfortunately, this is a hard copy. The hard
Oh,
copy of the statute. So I'll be just looking here and there, and so I only have this hard copy from the statute.
okay, not a problem. Thank you so much. Sir.
Jabulani, I got one here. I must just put it on the group. Mine goes until chapter 14. I'm not sure if that is the correct one, but it says it ends with Schedule 7.
That one is the one that I have, ma'am. It is up to section 174, if I'm not mistaken. Schedule 7 is law repealed, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's up to section 172. That's the one I have. I heard Mr. Bongani referring to section 316 and 322. So
This was the Criminal Procedure Act from the Criminal Procedure Act, because when that, I think that case reviewed quite a number of acts, including 277, 316, is unconstitutional because they, like the section 316, gave the Attorney General to oppose any appeal on death sentence cases to be appealed. So it was also repealed as a means to give the courts of appeal a chance to hear the alleged unfair treatment of the accused from the trial court.
Okay. Is there anyone with another question for you? For Unit 10? Okay, then I think we must go on to Unit 11. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna start with the role players in the administration of justice. What are the role players in the administration of justice? Okay, guys, I'm just reading here. Okay, Azande wants to know what is the private sector and the public sector? Oh, sorry. Private sector and public sector. And how it is regarding to business. I think you're Azande, I think you're at the wrong. Okay, can someone explain private sector and public sector? Because I just
sorry. Ma'am, I understand public sector and I mean public sector and public services. Public sector, I just know the definition from business studies. So I don't think it's the same explanation. So I'm asking anyone can explain public service and public sector. according to this chapter.
You can help me, Bongani? Anyone? Because the private sector is privately owned companies and businesses. And public services is, if I'm correct, I do stand under correction. It is the state, if the state gives you services like hospitals, social services, policing, all that, that is what I think it is. I hope it helps. Azande, does that give you a better understanding? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. Palisa?
Oh, hi everyone.
Hi.
I was just gonna try and explain all public services, but yeah, I guess public services are the activities or utilities provided by the government. Yeah.
You are correct. Okay. All right. Anything else? Can we go to role players in the administration of justice? Who are the role players? Who do we say is the role players in that role? Okay, I'm gonna give you number 1, practice law privately.
Can you
Yes.
repeat your question?
Okay. What are the role players in the administration of justice? Who can tell me? Okay, Azande. Azande, you can answer.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I think it's a judicial national prosecuting authority, South African Police Services, legal practitioners, Department of Justice and Constitutional Development, Legal Aid South Africa. I think, am I correct?
Yes. Yes.
And Office of the Public Protector, Correctional Service, Sheriffs. I think there are 10.
10.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a public.
Okay. Let's just check with everyone.
Judicial.
Yeah.
National Prosecuting Authorities, NPA, South African Police Service.
Anyone else can add to that? How many did you guys get? I know it's on page 210.
I only get 10. Which page?
210.
210. All right.
Okay, so there's 5 written there, but I'm not sure if we can. Jabulani, can you help me?
Yes, ma'am. With when I was reading also, according to page 210, there are 5 mentioned there, but some of them have divisions. For example, if you can refer to just a minute, the judicial officers. Under them, we obviously have the judges and the magistrates. And then on the presiding officers, oh yes, the presiding officers are the same as the judicial officers. And then we have the prosecutors, we have the legal practitioners. Again, there's a division, which we have the attorneys and the advocates. So I think Mrs. Azande got 10 because she counted them all at once instead of putting them under their categories. I don't know if I make sense.
Mm. Yeah, I also have 5, and then there's subsections of it.
Yes. Yes.
Because if we go to number 1, the practice of law, privately it's private legal practitioners where the attorneys and the advocates are.
And the advocates.
Yes, so Azande, you must just check on page 210. There are 5, and then there are under each one there is different ones, because that's where you got 10. And we didn't get the 10. Okay, so there's 5 main ones, and then there's subsections of those 5. Right. The legal profession in the private sector. So there's an act, the Legal Practice Act 28 of 2014. What does that act entail? What can we say about that act? How are we going to decide? Okay, yes. Azande, on what page did you find this? Because I'm sure that is not the correct.
Sorry, ma'am. It was my research.
Okay. No, I understand. I understand it now.
Ma'am, are we talking about the Legal Practice Act 28 of 2014?
Yes, the Legal Practice Act 28 of 2014. What are the reasons for that implementation of the act? What does that tell us? What is happening in that act? Anyone? Okay. The reasons for the implementation of the Act, Section 22 of the Bill of Rights of the Constitution of South Africa, established the right to freedom of trade, occupation, and profession, and provides that practice of trade, occupation, or profession may be regulated by law. Okay. Different laws on the legal profession in different parts of South Africa resulted in the legal profession being fragmented and divided. Access to legal services is not a reality for most South Africans. The legal profession is not broadly representative of the demographics of South Africa. Existing legislation restricts entry opportunities into the legal profession. Okay. Is there anyone who wants to add to that or ask questions on that? Are you all still happy? Okay, so what is the purpose of the Act, the Legal Practice Act 28 of 2014? Yes, you've got your hand up. Chikwata. I'm probably mispronouncing that. You can ask your question. Chikwata. I think I mispronounced your surname. You can ask your question.
Okay. I'm sorry, it's a good name. I wanted to answer the game so I could put my name down. Can you hear me?
You're very soft. We can't make out what you're trying to say.
No, it's an old name, ma'am. I wanted to ask something before, but later didn't see my head with time.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Nolutando, did you want to ask something?
No, sorry.
Okay. Who can tell me what is the purpose of the Act? Anyone? Okay. It is to provide legislation for the transformation and restructuring of the legal profession into the profession that is in line with the constitutional imperatives and values, is broadly representative of the Republic's demographics, facilitates, make it easier, and enhances the independent legal profession. Second one is to establish a single regulatory statutory body and the South African Legal Council and the provincial councils that will regulate the affairs of legal practitioners and will set norms and standards for them. Number 3, to provide requirements for the admission and enrollment of the legal practitioners. Number 4, to regulate the professional conduct of legal practitioners and the accountability of the legal profession to the public. Number 5, to ensure that legal services are accessible to the public. Number 6, to ensure that entry into the legal profession is unrestricted. Okay. So those are the 5 purposes of the Act. And they want to know, to whom is the Act applicable? Who can tell me this Act is applicable to whom? Okay, Azande. To regulate all legal practitioners through one legal practice council and transform the professions to ensure accessibility, accountable legal services in line with the Constitution. That is very well put. Nolutando?
I wanted to answer you that the act is applicable to everyone in South Africa, I think.
Azande? Azande? Andani?
Oh, thanks, ma'am. Ma'am, I think this act is applicable to all legal practitioners and all candidate legal practitioners. But now I'm being concerned about what Nolita has said, that the act is applicable to everyone in South Africa. Can you please clarify what she was saying?
Yes, I wanted to answer her. Nolutando, we must remember this act, the Legal Practitioners Act 28 of 2014, is applicable to all practitioners and all candidates, legal practitioners. So it has to, you have to bring it back to the legal practitioners. Okay, so it's applicable to all practitioners and candidates of legal practitioners. So the legal practitioner is the advocates and the attorneys. And then the candidate legal practitioner is a person undergoing practical vocational training, either as a candidate attorney or as a pupil. So when we say to whom the act is applicable, we have to remember that it is the practitioners, the legal practitioners, which are advocates and attorneys, and the candidates is the person undergoing practical vocational training. All right. Does that make sense to you? Right, Azande, I see your hands up.
No, ma'am, I was going to answer you that one you are saying to local partners in South Africa.
Yes, I see you typed it. Yeah, thanks. Yes, it's not everyone. It's only applicable to the practitioners and the candidate legal practitioners. Okay. All right. Then I want to go on with that. The practical vocational training, that is training in terms of the Legal Practice Act to qualify as a candidate attorney or pupil in order to be admitted and enrolled as an attorney or an advocate. The candidate attorney is a person undergoing practical vocational training to being admitted and enrolled as an attorney. A pupil is a person undergoing practical vocational training to being admitted and enrolled as an advocate. All right. We must remember when they ask us about being an attorney, we must remember that there's a difference between advocate and attorney. Who can tell me what's the difference between an advocate and an attorney? Who can tell me the difference? Take a guess. Who wants to take a guess? If I say advocate and attorney, are they the same or are they not the same? Brianna?
They're not really the same. An attorney is a legal professional who provides a wide range of legal services, but then attorneys are not allowed in the high courts. And they have like a relationship with their clients, and advocates do not have a relationship with clients. I don't know if I make sense. Do I make sense?
Yes, you
Not
do.
sure. Yeah, and advocates are like legal professionals specializing at courtrooms, advocacy. They have the right to present clients in all courts, and
Okay.
and they are experts in like trial proceedings, crafting, legal what the present
I like your technical terms.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if the others are agreeing with you. Azande?
Yes, she's correct. But can I say mine?
Yes, come.
Okay. The difference between I think the difference between attorney and advocate lies in how they work and interact with clients, whereas attorney are the first point of contact for the public. Then, and I think attorney doesn't. I'm gonna type what I'm saying, ma'am.
Okay, then I'll read it to them again. Palisa? Palisa, you've got a question? Or Rikwata, you've got a question? You
Oh
guys
yeah,
have...
hi guys.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
My name is Rhoda. I see you are finding very difficult to pronounce it.
Yes, sorry about that.
That no, it's okay. I just wanted to only to add to what the former speaker was saying. So someone said an attorney is a junior, an advocate is a senior. So like when you are a junior, you can be sent like to do smaller jobs like at attorney as a entry level. You can do the end to end legal work, like consultation, contract later, small jobs. And you can go to the small courts, the major courts. But for advocates, we are talking about big fish now. Like you appear in the high court, etc., etc. You represent clients and court. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks. Palisa? Okay. Yeah.
Hi guys.
Yes.
Where are we? Yes, I'm sorry, my network is bad this side, so I got lost there for a second.
We are on page 213. Page
213.
213. Yes.
Oh, okay, thank you.
All right. Okay. Attorneys are often described as general practitioners of the legal profession. Their work is frequently administrative and includes providing general legal advice, drafting wills and contracts, transferring property, and administrating deceased estates. Okay, I have to agree there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but attorneys, you have an attorney when you have to go to the magistrate. I think the High Court and the Constitutional Court, they use advocates. Here is someone typing. Patience is typing for us. Just give me a second. Okay, advocates are specialized in litigation. They spend the majority okay, let me read that as soon as she's done. Okay. Advocates are specialized in litigation. They spend the majority of their time representing clients in court and willing Okay, sorry. And writing, sorry. And writing formal legal opinions. Okay. Anyone want to disagree with Patience or agree with Patience? She says, okay, here's another one. Attorneys work directly with clients, handle paperwork, negotiation, trust accounts, and can now appear in all courts if certified. Advocates are special litigationers who focus on courtroom argument and legal opinions traditionally briefed by attorneys. But under the Act, they take direct briefs if they have the Fidelity Fund certificate. Okay, let's see. Okay, Azande said attorneys work directly with clients and paperwork. Okay, that was Azande's whole thing that I just read. Okay, so we know what's the difference between attorney and an advocate. All right. The Legal Practice Council. What is the Legal Practice Council? You can tell me. It says, in terms of Section 4 of the Legal Practice Act, the Legal Practice Council is a single national regulatory body that regulates the affairs of all legal practitioners, attorneys and advocates, and candidate legal practitioners. What is the mandate? The mandate of the Legal Practice Council includes the following. What are the 4 things that make up the mandate of the Legal Practice Council? That is on page 213. Brianna?
Oh, I was gonna say that it's on 213, page 213. So yeah, I don't think there's a need to like read it.
No, I think we must just. I just want you guys to pay attention to that. And here we come to attorneys and. Okay, so we'll see if we got it right the first time. Okay. Attorneys. So you guys, I'm just going to quickly run through the mandate. It's to establish provincial councils and delegate some of its powers to the provincial council. 2, to set norms and standards for all legal practitioners. 3, to provide for the admission and enrollment of the legal practitioners. Number 4, to regulate the professional conduct of legal practitioners to ensure accountability by the way of a code of conduct. Okay, so attorneys, what are the admission requirements for attorney? Number 1, it says they must apply to the High Court to be admitted as an attorney. They must apply to the Legal Practice Council for enrollment of their names on the roll of legal practitioners. The candidate attorney must meet the following requirements before he or she can be admitted as an attorney. They must obtain an LLB degree, must complete practical vocational training for 24 months and a program of structured coursework of a minimum of 150 notional hours. Yes, Jabulani.
Ma'am, could we have a 5 minutes break, please?
Okay.
Guys, can I please laugh? Hi, guys. Yeah,
No, I'm kind of having a network issue. I just want to fix that, but you can continue if it's a problem.
No,
By
it's
the
not a
way,
problem.
by the way, when are we finishing, guys?
Like, if he
9
is,
o'clock.
I think that's his issue to solve. I'm sorry, Jay, but like that's his issue to solve.
What time are we finishing, by the way?
Elsewhere by 9. So
9 o'clock. Finishing
9.
at 9.
9 is too much. We need a 10 minutes break. Hi.
oh god,
No,
it's all
none.
continue. Get it.
It's not half 8.
No. 9 is around the corner.
No, guys, we're talking about 50 minutes.
I'm sorry for the disruption, ma'am. I'm okay. We can continue.
Okay. All right. So we said if a candidate attorney must meet the following requirements before he or she can be admitted as an attorney. 1. They must obtain an LLB degree. 2. Must complete practical vocational training for 24 months and a program of structured coursework of a minimum of 150 notional hours, or must complete practical vocational training for 12 months and a program of structured coursework of a minimum of 400 notional hours. 3. Must be a fit and proper person to be admitted as an attorney. Must successfully complete competency examination as determined by the legal practice counselor. In other words, the attorney's admission examinations. Right. What is the function in practice? Who can tell me what's the functions in practice? Okay. Attorneys are trained. Yes, Brianna.
It says, no, it's not Brianna, ma'am. Azande.
Oh, sorry. I see Brianna's name is okay. Azande, go on.
It says attorneys are trained lawyers who can advise clients and present them in court.
Yes.
Can I read all? The one that says to notice that clients approach the. Can I read it all or just the first line?
You can read it.
Okay. Attorneys are trained lawyers who can advise clients and represent them in court. Tate noticed that clients approach the attorneys in J&J attorneys for advice on a variety of legal problems. Therefore, their functions deal with various matters such as providing legal advice in divorce matters, drafting of wills, draftings of other legal documents, e.g., antenuptial contracts and purchase contracts. The fourth The fourth one, transferring property from one person to another. The fifth one, administrations of deceased estates. Then the last one, legal advice with regard to claims as a result of motor accidents. Yes.
Yes, that is correct. Okay, some attorneys are actually legal administrators because the largest part of their daily work is of an administrative nature. General practitioners of the legal profession. So they are the general practitioners. Okay, the right of appearance in court. In the past, attorneys only had the right to appear in the lower courts, the magistrate courts. Attorneys have no right to appear in the high court. So attorneys are not allowed to represent someone in the High Court. Enactment of the Bill of Appearance in Courts Act 62 of 1995 could apply to the Registrar of the Provincial Division of the High Court to be granted the right of appearance in the High Court and appear in the Supreme Court of Appeal, as well as the right of appearance in the Courts Act has now been repealed. Why do I think I skipped a... Yeah, I did skip something. Let me just get my head. Where did I... Attorneys who have acquired the right of appearance in the High Court could also appear in the Supreme Court of Appeal and the Constitutional Court. That is the one I missed. All right. Then the next one. The right of appearance in Courts Act has now been repealed by the Legal Practice Act. In terms of the Act, attorneys still do not have an automatic right of appearance in the High Courts and must apply for such a right. They must apply to the registrar of the division of the High Court in which he or she was admitted and enrolled as an attorney for the prescribed certificate in order to obtain the right of appearance. Brianna?
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to add something. Remember
Ask.
when we distinguished between like attorneys and advocates, we said that clients cannot like approach advocates directly, right? But then
Yes.
somewhere in the study guide, we like there's two different kinds of advocates, which are the normal advocates and the fidelity fund advocates. And with the fidelity fund advocates, a client can actually approach them directly without going through an attorney first.
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, it is further in the study guide. Let me just check on what page that is. Yeah, it's on page 218. We are still getting there, but yes, thank you. How do we obtain a membership to the Legal Practice Council? In the past, we were regulated and represented by their own independent professional body, the Law Society of South Africa, the LSSA. Now, under the Legal Practice Act, attorneys must belong to the Legal Practice Council as the statutory body that regulates the affairs of all legal practitioners. The Law of Society of South Africa continues to exist in the Legal Practice Act dispensation as a voluntary representative professional body that promotes the interests of attorneys. Now, advocates. What are the admission requirements for advocates? Yes, Andani?
Yes, ma'am. I wanted to ask you, I heard you saying if an attorney wants to appear in the High Court or a higher court, they must apply to the registrar of the High Court in the division where they were admitted. Uh, how does the role of the registrar differ from the role of the legal practice counsel in granting rights of appearance?
Okay, so the registrar of the division of the High Court is someone who's appointed in that high or the division in the High Court, but they also have to apply the Legal Practice Act. So if the registrar of the division of the High Court say you can't be admitted in because of this and this, then you won't be able to represent someone in the High Court. But if the registrar, the person in charge of granting such a right, say, okay, you may appear in the high court, then you will have to be given a prescribed certificate, which is for the right of appearance. So you must get a specific prescribed certificate to appear in the High Court, and the registrar is in charge of giving that. But under my knowledge, you have to at least have a good reason why you want to be in the High Court if you're an attorney. Okay, does that make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am, it makes sense. So we can refer to the legal practice council as it ensures the legal profession is properly managed, uniform, and in the line with constitutional values. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So the registrar is a crucial gatekeeper for higher court practice, isn't so?
Yes, it is. So that's the middleman, if you want to say it like that. They are the middleman between you appearing in the High Court. Okay. All right. Advocates. What is the admission requirements of an advocate? Okay, the first one. They must apply to the High Court to be admitted as an advocate. 2. They must apply to the Legal Practice Council for enrollment of their names on the roll of legal practitioners. Okay. All right. A pupil must meet the following requirements before he or she can be admitted as an advocate. Someone's mic is on. Okay. They must obtain an LLB degree, must complete service under practical vocational training for 12 months, must complete a program of structured coursework of not less than 400 hours, must be a fit and proper person to be admitted as an advocate, must successfully complete the competency-based examination as determined by the Legal Practice Council. In other words, the bar examinations. Brianna?
Like, what do they mean by a person must be fit and proper to be admitted as an advocate? What exactly is that? What do they mean?
That's a good question. And Danny, do you know why they must be fit and proper? I think you have to have a clean record, I think. And you must not probably be sick or something. Which law are you... Yes, Andani?
I was also going to ask that question, but as far as I view this requirement, to me it means having a good character and being honest and integrity. That's what I view it. I was also going to ask you this question.
Yeah, because I don't think it is referring to the health of a person. I think it's are you objective and are you honest and things like that. Ulefe. Oh, I'm pronouncing these names. You can ask your question.
It's not a question, ma'am.
Okay,
I just, ma'am.
Yes, add to what we said.
Yes, I checked what they mean with the whole fit thing. They actually mean that you need to be ethical, honest, and trustworthy, and also you need to be suitable to handle clients' money and legal issues.
Thank you. Now we all know what it means. Because I wasn't sure either. But thank you very much. Okay, so what are the functions in practice? What are the functions in practice? That is on page 218. Okay, number 1, they must work for their own account. 2, advocates are specialist litigators and spend most of their time representing clients in court. Traditional clients have never approached advocates directly. Clients rather approached attorneys who did the initial work or investigation on the case. The attorney may have referred the case to an advocate. The advocate will take the case further, write opinions, and appear in court. In the past, only attorneys accepted instructions directly from members of the public. Advocates were not allowed to. Okay, so the Legal Practice Act changed this traditional position and now distinguishes between 2 kinds of advocates, namely advocates and Fidelity Fund advocates. Clients may approach Fidelity Fund advocates who are in possession of Fidelity Fund certificates directly or with an attorney. These advocates provide legal services for a fee. The Legal Practice Act also regulates the possession of active advocates by the way the Fidelity Fund and a required Fidelity Fund certificate. Okay, the right of appearance in courts. Okay, advocates automatically have the right of appearance in all the courts, lower as well as higher courts. And Section 25 of the Legal Practice Act does not change this position. Okay, the membership of a professional body. Practicing advocates belong to one of the professional bar councils, the General Council of the Bar of South Africa used to be the umbrella of the Bar Council. Under the Legal Practice Act, advocates must belong to the Legal Practice Council as the statutory body that regulates the affairs of all legal practitioners. Different bar councils under the General Council of the Bar of South Africa may continue to exist in the form of voluntary associations and that promote the interest of advocates. Right. You all with me? Phew. Okay. Legal professions in the public service. Prosecutors, public or state prosecutors, and state advocates. Every crime that is committed is a crime committed against the state. It is the responsibility of the Director of Public Prosecutions to institute criminal proceedings. He or she delegates the authority to the Institute criminal procedures to public prosecutors or state prosecutor in the lower courts and state advocates in the higher court. Okay, so state attorneys, they do the same work as ordinary attorneys. The only difference is that their clients are different government departments and not private individual or private institutions. They are to protect the interest of the state. Okay, state legal advisors. State legal advisors are state advocates who provide specific legal services to government departments at national, provincial, and municipal levels. Their services are legal research, legal advice, checking of existing legislation, drafting of new legislation. Okay. What are presiding officers? You can tell me what presiding officers are. Yes?
Presiding officers are judges and magistrates.
Yes. So if we look at judges, what are they? What is a judge?
Sorry, ma'am, to just to kick it. Judges are presiding officers in higher courts. Yes, ma'am. That's how I.
Yes, they are. Judges are officers of higher courts, the Constitutional Court, the Supreme Court of Appeal, as well as the High Court. They are appointed for life. They may come from any of the branches of the legal profession. They are officials paid by the Department of Justice. They are appointed by the President of the country, the executive branch of government. After consultation with the Judicial Service Commission. All right, so the magistrates, they preside over the lower courts, district and regional courts, are appointed by the Magistrate Commission. Their role in the court is to conduct full, fair, and impartial hearings without unnecessary delays. This duty requires presiding officers to consider the facts of the case, consider the arguments and the evidence put before the court by the legal representatives of the different parties. They must find and apply the relevant law to the facts of the case and they must come to a decision about the matter. Okay, so we're going on to court officials. There are 3. You can tell me. Andani, yes?
Yes, ma'am, before I question, is Mpapuli, is Mpapuli having something to say? Because she has been raising her hand.
I think that's an old hand still.
Okay, ma'am. Can a non-citizen become a legal practitioner in South Africa?
Which person?
A non-citizen, someone from outside South Africa.
I think it has to be a requirement that you are South African of nationality. I haven't, not to my knowledge, that I have heard of a different country's lawyer being one of our representatives. So I'm not sure if you guys know of someone who is a judge or a magistrate from another country that is presiding in South Africa, please let us know so that we can see if we can read up on that. But as far as I know, you have to be a South African citizen.
I'm
Yes.
sorry to interrupt.
No, you can.
What was this? Is it Azande? What were you saying now? If you are a non-South African, can you practice law, or can you be an attorney or advocate? Is that your question?
It's Andani. I was saying, can a non-citizen become a legal practitioner in South Africa? And then
Okay.
if so, I would like to know in what conditions.
Okay. I'm also not from SA, by the way. So I've got a relative who is in that department. So what they want is just you must be just a legal person. You have to be legalized, or whether you studied where or you studied where. Remember, we are talking about University of South Africa. You can study even if you are in UK. Remember, are we together?
Yes, I can hear you.
Being that say, after you can graduate even wherever you are. When you come to South Africa, if you want to be admitted into this legal field, you just have to legalize yourself. Sometimes there's a test that they can give you. Like, I'm from them. So there's a test that they give you under this. Let me check for you. What were we talking about? It's for the board for the lawyers. What were you saying, by the way? The Act, remember? Yeah, there's that Act, that's the Legal Practice Act of 28 of 2004. Remember what we said? Under that Act, there's an exam that you write. If you pass it, and then if you have your legal papers, you are allowed to practice whatever you want to do, whether it's law, whether it's in business or anything. But first thing, you have to legalize yourself. Remember, we've got some people outside of South Africa that are in jail. Sometimes those people, they need people who can translate their languages. So in this field, there must be people who can represent them. I don't know if I answered you correctly.
Okay, thanks, Ms. Chikwata. I appreciate your attention to this matter.
Thanks again, Asante.
Yes, and you are right. I once been in a court where there was an interpreter of it. I think she was a Shona person.
Yeah, I'm also a Shona. I'm from Zim.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
So under law, wherever you are, if you cannot speak, suppose you don't speak English, you don't speak Zulu, you're a foreign national, you are allowed under law to have someone who can speak for you. If there's no one who can speak for you, who understands your language, suppose English is not your language, and then it says your case has to be postponed until they find someone to. They say it's fair for you to speak your language, and then they find for you a translator.
I'm
Thank
sorry, can you please ask something? Hello?
Hi, guys.
Hi, yes, I wanted to ask something. You mentioned having to legalize yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. With that, I wanted to understand what you meant because I am aware that non-South African citizens can practice law here in South Africa. However, I do know you need a work visa, or you need to gain some kind of South African citizenship. So when you said you need to legalize yourself, did you mean that you need to gain South African
Have legal
citizenship, or were
papers. Yeah,
you
you have
referring
to
to something else?
go to Home Affairs, and then you do your papers.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Okay,
ma'am.
pleasure. Okay, the court officials. What court officials do we have in South Africa? There are 3. Who can tell me which 3 are there? That is on page 225. Brianna?
We have
Ma'am,
the
ma'am.
court, and we have the court interpreter, and we also have the family advocate.
Yes, we do. Okay, what can you tell me about the court orderly? What is the job of the court orderly?
According to the study guide, ma'am, I'm just gonna read through, ne?
Yes.
The court orderly is usually a police officer appointed by the South African Police Service, and their functions are to maintain order, silence, and decency in and around the court, ensuring the safety of the presiding officers, judges or magistrates, and other court personnel, accused witnesses, as well as members of the public attending court.
It is on Azande, it's on page 225.
Yeah, and the last one is escorting accused or witnesses to the courtroom and placing them in the witness or accused dock.
Yes. If some of you, I'm not sure if you guys have ever sat through a court case or proceedings like in the magistrate or somewhere, you will see a court orderly. They will tell you, please rise. Then the judge or the magistrate comes in, and then they tell you, please be seated. Then they bring in the accused. Yeah, it's quite interesting if you ever experience that, because it gives you so much in a good way of seeing how it does proceed. So yeah, Brianna, you must just maybe find out when there's a court case and when you are available, and just sneak in and just see what it is really about. Jabulani?
Ma'am, it's just a question of interest.
Yes.
On bullet number 4, number 2, on court orderly, it says ensuring the safety of the presiding officers, such as judges or magistrate and other personnel, accused witnesses, and so forth.
Yes.
In court procedures, I've seen that they would normally have one police officer who would obviously maintain the order in court. My question of interest is that if, God forbid, there's a violation in court because of a certain decision made or any comment that could have been made in the proceedings, are they allowed to use their guns, since us as the audience are not allowed to carry any weapons in the court case? I mean in court.
I'm going to be honest and say they are not, unless it is where a person is attacking, say, the judge because they are not happy. Say the accused is not happy and they attacked violently. They will subdue them, but I don't think they are allowed to shoot you, or they at the court case there was one that told us to stand, and he went to fetch the accused, but there was also 2 other policemen in the same courtroom for instances that if they do get out of hand, that those 2 help the court orderly, the police officers and so on.
So presumably their guns would have been carrying maybe rubber bullets.
Yes, I think in big courts like the High Court or those courts, I think they are equipped with rubber bullets rather than real ones.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay. It's a pleasure. Okay, so the court interpreter. In terms of Section 35 of the Constitution, all citizens have the right to a fair trial, and this right includes the right to a trial in the language of their choice. This function of the court interpreter is to provide language interpretation in the court for those who are not proficient in English. A court interpreter must make sure that all parties to a case understand the legal proceedings in a language of their choice. It's like Rhonda said, if you are speaking probably Zulu and you are in Bloemfontein and they've only got Afrikaans and English translators, they must find a translator who speaks Zulu. The case will appear and it will be postponed until an interpreter is proficient in that language is available. Okay. So a family advocate is the 3rd court official. It does mediation on certain divorce matters, Act 24 of 1987. So it is the person mediates in certain divorce matters, Act 24 of 1987. The function of a family advocate is to protect the interest of children in divorce disputes. The role of the family advocate is then to evaluate the circumstances of the parties to the dispute and make a recommendation to the court. Okay. One of the parties to the dispute may also request the court to refer the matter to a family advocate for the recommendation. So they can request the court. Do you want me to go on with Unit 11? Because we've got like 10 minutes left. Do you think I can finish it in that time? Okay. Yep. All right, let's go. Court officials involved in administrative matters that relate to courts and laws. Here we get to the Registrar of the High Court. A Registrar of the High Court is appointed for every High Court is responsible for the administration and documentation in the High Court. The functions are receiving, filing, safekeeping, and distribution of legal documents, receiving of fines, issuing of summonses for people to appear in court, and finalizing the court roll. That is what a registrar of the High Court is. Okay, a summons is a document, usually starts a case. Okay, so a summons is for someone to appear. It's a document that says, hey, Wena, you must go to court. You must be in court that day and this time. A court roll is information of a specific court, the date, different cases heard on that day, the court, the cases which will be heard, the case number, the name of the case, the judge or the magistrate that hear the case. Okay. Clerk of the court. The clerk of the court is an official appointed for every magistrate court. They are responsible for administration and documentation in the magistrate's court. Same functions as registrar of the High Court. So the clerk of the court also receives, filing, safekeeping, distribution of legal documents, receiving of fines, issuing summonses, and finalizing the court roll. They also sits there in front in the courtroom, and these days they just record what is said on the mics of the magistrate, the interpreter, the advocates or the attorneys actually, and the accused. But in the old days, back way, they would type the whole thing. But technology has made it a little easier. Okay. Okay, so the master of the High Court, he or she is an important official. Okay, Azande wants to know if a paralegal is the same as an attorney. Do you think a paralegal is the same as an attorney? Okay, I'm going to take here a leap and say a paralegal is someone that helps the attorney. They are not an attorney yet. Okay, so I think a paralegal is an assistant to an attorney. They are not completely qualified yet, but they are getting there. They have not been admitted to the legal council. Okay, all right. So the master of the High Court is an important official. They are appointed for each provincial High Court. Okay, the functions are to control and supervise the administration of deceased and insolvent estates, to control the liquidation of companies, to control trust funds on behalf of minors, and then to control the property of others who are physically or mentally unable to manage their own affairs and for whom curators have been appointed. Okay, then the sheriff. The sheriff is an impartial and independent official appointed in both High Court and the Magistrate Court. They serve all documents issued by the court. This includes summonses, notices, warrants, and other court orders. The South African Board of Sheriffs monitors the service of sheriffs and their deputies. They ensure they exercise the duties in a humane manner. Okay. So those are the people that come to you and like, yeah, this is a summons to come to court, or they come with police officers to tell you here's a warrant for your arrest, and then the police take you into custody. Ethical conduct. It's very important that these professionals are ethical, competent, and act with integrity and do not abuse their positions. They have a code of conduct which they must go about. Like most of the places have code of conduct, but they have a very important one. There's a written code setting out rules and standards relating to ethics, conduct, and practice for legal practitioners. If any legal practitioners contravene the code, their conduct may be found unethical or unprofessional, and there be different consequences. Okay, so it's very important that these professionals are ethical, competent, and act with integrity and do not abuse them. The Legal Practice Act requires the Legal Practice Council to provide a code of conduct that applies to all legal practitioners. Candidate legal practitioners as well as juristic entities. Okay, so if they have if their conduct was found unethical or unprofessional, they have different consequences. This may include disciplinary hearings and fines. In serious misconduct, legal practitioners may even be struck off the roll and may not be allowed to practice as legal practitioners any longer. Okay. Juristic entities. What are juristic entities? Okay, we're just waiting for someone to type here. Private companies or just companies? Okay, I'm going to go back to one of my notes. Is there someone that can tell us what a juristic... Brianna?
Oh, a juristic isn't juristic as like a juristic person?
Yeah, that's what I'm also thinking. It is the same as a juristic person, but I'm not just trying to see where it is in the study guide. Because it doesn't say it in Unit 10. Just see. I'm just trying to find where it is. Is there someone who can help us? They want to know what a juristic... Why does my... I can't... Okay, there it goes. Juristic entities. What are juristic entities? Bongani, Andani, someone? I think a juristic entity is, unless I'm legal practitioner, candidate. I'm just trying to find out.
Ma'am,
Yes, please help.
A juristic entity is the same as a juristic person. It's not like an individual. It is a body that is considered to have rights as well. For an example, a company.
Okay. Thank
Yes.
you very much. I'm just writing this down. All right. Is there anyone else with a question? Is there anyone with any more questions? Because now we've gone through unit 10 and 11, so we're only left with 12. Yes, Rhonda? Rhonda?
Sorry, I forgot to unmute my mic. My question is like, can someone please help me? The difference between an advocate and a fidelity fund advocate. I didn't get that one. Please.
Okay, let me just get back to that. Okay.
That's page 218.
Okay.
218, yeah.
Clients may approach a fidelity fund advocate. So that is those are people with the possession of a fidelity fund certificate, but they don't give us the they don't really give us the whole example of what an advocate. But if you go to advocates, it says it is someone that requires a couple of things, but they are called a pupil. Let me just get you the correct. Okay, there it is. A pupil. So an advocate is a pupil. It means a person undergoing practical vocational training with a view of being admitted and enrolled as an advocate. So that is an advocate. It is a pupil, but not as a school child, a pupil of the court. Okay. And they are broken up into advocates and fidelity advocates, which means that an advocate will take the case further. So clients rather approach attorneys who do the initial work, and then if it's necessary, the attorneys will refer you to an advocate. So you've got an attorney, you complained and you're trying to get this case seen in a higher court. The attorney does all the footwork, do the research and everything, and then they can refer you to an advocate who is higher than they are. Okay. And the fertility fund activity, they must have a fidelity fund certificate, and they can go, clients may go directly to them without using an advocate. So advocates, firstly, the attorneys does all the work, and then the fidelity fund advocates, they mean clients can approach them directly if they have if the possession of fidelity fund certificates are there, then you don't use attorneys. Yes, Bongani.
There is something that I'm finding here from Attorneys Act 53 of 1979, where this is where the fidelity fund is being a little bit explained, because they're saying the fund shall be applied for the purposes of reimbursing persons who may suffer pecuniary loss as a result of then the conditions that are listed, like theft committed by a practicing attorney, or B, theft of money or other property entrusted to an employee referred to in paragraph 4. So from what that is being said, I'm not sure if the Legal Practice Council Act lists these purposes too, but this is what I'm finding about the purpose of the fidelity fund attorneys for the reimbursement of any injustices as a result of unscrupulous legal counsels.
Thank you very much, Bongani. Is there anyone else with anyone else with a question? Is there anyone with a question?
Oh, can I come back again?
Yes.
Oh, so I think this one is directed to Mr. Bongani. Where can we get the recordings for the last time? I can't find them even on YouTube.
I don't. These statues are not available maybe in web format or in PDF format.
No, I mean the meeting that we did last time. The recording.
I know I wasn't the one who was recording.
I put them on my my YouTube channel because they're quite long, so they don't.
Okay. When did you put them? Because I was checking them since morning.
I put them on Sunday.
Okay. Thank you.
But I will just send you again where you must go find it after I did today's.
No, if you said on your YouTube channel, I think I must revisit it because I always find them there. It's just that I didn't see the recent one.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Anyone else?
Hi, ma'am.
Yes.
I'm a little confused about this advocates and fidelity fund advocates, because from the information that I have, it is said that the fidelity fund advocates are attorneys that have fidelity fund certificates, and the fidelity fund advocates is a term that is misused. So I am not sure why we are using the word advocates for this particular one, if it is just attorneys that need fidelity fund certificates. And per my research, every attorney needs a fidelity fund certificate.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I will have to do some research about that to double check. Because I only saw it in the study guide, but I haven't studied that completely and figured out what that is. But I see that Thursday there's a meeting from the lecturer. I'm going to see if I can take part in that and then ask her that or ask him that.
Wait, sorry, can I come back again?
Yes.
The meeting for Thursday is not cancelled.
No, it was for tomorrow, wasn't it?
No, for Thursday. I think it's postponed to next Thursday. I think we must check.
Yes, it is postponed to next Thursday. Is it the 21st?
Yes, correct. Correct.
Oh,
Yes, it's the 21st.
oh my word.
Mm.
Oh yeah, I see it, yeah. Yeah, the 23rd. Okay, so I must. Okay, so I wrote it down now, so I'm going to go check it up and do some research, and then whenever we come back for Unit 12, then I can just give you that answer before we go on to Unit 12. Okay, we all agree?
Okay, and when are we meeting, guys?
I will put a poll on again on the group and with the link to the YouTube channel. So we will decide accordingly.
Can
Okay,
we all vote? Can we all vote for tomorrow? Right.
No, maybe Friday. Maybe
I'm
Friday.
just joking.
You
okay.
don't have that.
For tomorrow.
Yes.
But when?
Maybe Thursday.
Okay. Okay. I think we do it on Thursday.
Okay, all right.
All right.
Thank you.
That is it for tonight.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.
Get well with the fever.
Thank you.
Yeah, all the best in exam, guys. Assignment, whatsoever.
Thank you. You too.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.